What 5 features would we like to see added to the Spyro Reignited trilogy? Let's find out! What's up guys, Canadian Guy A here, and back with a type of video I have not done in a really long time. A top 5 video. So with the upcoming remaster being just around the corner, and with Toys for Bob listening to us so much, I thought that I would put together a little video of some of the features that a lot of the fans have suggested, whether it be my own personal thoughts, what you guys have commented down below, or what I've seen in this giant place that we call the World Wide Web. So, what are we waiting for? Let's get right into it. Number 5. Endgame content. Now, I hear the purists coming out and saying, "No, do not add anything to this game." But hold your seahorses and let me explain. Crash Bandicoot added as a DLC Stormy Ascent, an infamous level that was scrapped and could only be accessed if you had a Game Shark for the PS1. The level was almost completed, so it allowed you to basically go through the whole thing in the original game. According to reports, there are levels in the original Spyro games that have been scrapped, and I would love to be able to see what Toys for Bob could do with those levels if they were allowed to finish them. Better yet, in all honesty, I would love to be able to just play the game even longer with even more content. However, I would not want the scrap levels to affect the core game. So I would like access to these things when the game is finished. But I got a feeling it would come as a DLC later on, because I do not think that Toys for Bob has enough time to actually do that within the production time that they likely have. But hey, you never know. Number 4. Skins. To say that some, keyword here, some Spyro fans are divided would be an understatement. There are different variations of Spyro that people adore and love. Also other characters. But personally, I love the new design of Spyro, but there are huge followings for other characters in the franchise. So, what if Toys for Bob in a future DLC catered to some of these fans by releasing skins from different characters in the Spyro universe, like a fan favorite, Cinder, or perhaps more simple skins, like Flame from A Hero's Tale, where it's a simple recolor. Honestly, I would just stay with the original skin for myself, because I think Toys for Bob did such an amazing job with Spyro. But different people have different tastes, and that's perfectly fine. Number 3. Easter eggs. This is a fantastic opportunity to add so many Easter eggs to the game. We have already seen one in a recent gift released by Toys for Bob, showing the beast being fed Wampa fruit from Crash Bandicoot. Little details like these are what make people burst out laughing who are fans of the series. Subtle jokes and references from either the Crash IP or previous versions of Spyro could be put in that would pass the untrained eye. These are things that people love to seek and find out. Number 2. Added cinematics. This is a bit of a better explanation, but when the Crash Insane trilogy came out, there were details added to its cinematics and cutscenes. Nothing overly major, but a few things here and there, and I hope Toys for Bob can do the same. Add more to the cutscenes that are already there to simply improve them. But to go along with this idea, Spyro 2 had these little cutscenes in between entering and leaving the levels. They were dark, weird, but overall hilarious. I would love to see these types of cutscenes used for Spyro 1 and 3. Imagine leaving Stonehill and you see a shepherd and the rams being chased by a massive flock of sheep with one of them holding one of the shepherd's cane. Number 1. Toggleable music. This is something that always pops up in my comment section of my videos. Whenever we talk about Spyro, people have a severe worry over its music. Some have heard the little tidbits from gameplay and trailers, and some are still very nervous. Crash Bandicoot's music was good, heck, it was great, but it was not legendary like Stuart Copeland's soundtracks were. So some people don't want them redone like Crash's was done. Some even argue that Spyro has the best soundtrack of all time when it comes to video games. Now, I don't know if I would go to that extent, but I think that Toys for Bob can make a fantastic soundtrack. but people are still going to be upset because it might be very different and it's very hard to achieve that legendary status like Stuart Copeland did. But what if there was a toggle button, like you could switch between the remaster and the original? I think this is something that is very plausible because it's really not all that hard to code. Maybe you are curious and want to hear what the original sounded like compared to the new one, or perhaps you're a die-hard fan and just want to listen to the originals. Either or, I think that it would be a good compromise and that it would be fairly straightforward to do.